Hey everybody, today we are talking about Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. I listened to this audiobook just very recently and wanted to sit down and say a couple things about it because wow. If you are looking for something that is essentially a body beauty horror novel, then this is it. I think it would be a great read for this time of the year because even though it doesn't, like, my impression of it was it's obviously supposed to be about beauty, natural beauty, and I heard a little bit about this book being about the harms that can come from trying to become perfect and trying to make your body perfect. Not until I got more into reading this did I realize that this is really messed up. It's just really messed up. Like, when I was reading it, there were times where I was feeling really gross. It did not hold back on describing things in a way that just made you think, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I didn't think it was going to be so horrific and terrifying as it ended up being. By the last hour of it, I was like, how can this get even any worse? And it did. Our main character is a pianist. She's an amazing pianist that started when she was like 12 years old. Well, she was listening to her parents do music in the house. They would do piano lessons, and so she was growing up always wanting to do piano. They were wanting a better life for her, something that could make more money, but she wanted to follow in their footsteps anyway. They decided to let her start taking lessons, and they taught her with love and emotion and of course with technique as well, but she became this beautiful piano player. And so many people noticed it that she ended up getting a paid scholarship type situation where she got to go to this like conservatory and get even better and do performances and work with amazing professional teachers to perfect her craft. And they always thought she was so good, like one of the best ones. And because of that, a lot of her peers made fun of her or didn't think she was, like, they were jealous of her because of how good she was with the piano. And it was just because she had musicality. This part I really loved of the book, actually, because I grew up playing the piano. I also grew up playing the flute, so I was in band as well. And I am a music teacher now. So music's always been a big thing to me. And while I was never as good as she was in this book, I love how she described her feeling about it and how it's not just about the technical side of things. It is also about the emotions and the musicality, the part that brings it to life. You cannot have music without that. If you only play what it says on the page to play, you are missing out on the bigger picture. And if you are not really understanding why the swells in the music happen that way, why is there a crescendo here, why is it supposed to go slower here, why did they use those combination of notes, everything is for a reason. And the reason is, how does it make you feel? Some music is geared more towards how it makes you think versus more than how it makes you feel. We have heart music, we have head music, and most people prefer heart music because it makes you feel something. It's not just about how the notes present themselves, but actually how they sound when you play them. And that's what I love about music. And now I'm getting too far off. So back to the story. She had that. And so she was amazing. But unfortunately, her parents were in an accident after one of her recitals and it messed her up. She thought it was her fault. Like, because they came to see her and then this happened to them, that she stopped playing the piano altogether. She started working at a restaurant. And then this person named Sage comes in and starts talking to her and is like, oh, I recognize you. You're that amazing pianist. And ends up convincing her to go work for her at this place called Holistic, which is natural beauty, organic. Is like, all the stuff is supposed to be organic material that they use. It's supposed to be like the best for you to be able to have the best skin, the best care. So they have hair products, you know, all the types of beauty products. Sage offers her this job at Holistic where she can use the products. She immediately starts having a different kind of glow when she uses the products. Her face is starting to look shinier, her skin is glowing more. Everything seems to be working. Like they say, oh, these natural organic ingredients are making me beautiful, making me even more beautiful. And everybody that works there uses the products. And so everybody's basically essentially looking the same. And they're portraying that their customers can look like them if they want to, but they have to keep using these products and they have to keep coming in and getting treatments if they want to be as beautiful as the people that work there. Throughout this story, we get a lot of changes in not only in the physical body and the look and the outer appearance, but also in the interactions with people that we see. She starts to become friends with the people she works with. She starts going out with them. She starts going to places she wouldn't normally go and starts having these experiences that are really off-putting, like really off-putting. I can't even tell you. They're kind of graphic, not in like a gory way. Well, not in like a typical traditional horror sense, you know, like bloody, like that kind of thing. It's just like really off-putting experiences that she's being put through. And then later she ends up getting a second job because she needs to have more money to send to the place that her parents are recovering from since their accident. She's behind on rent, so she asks for a second job, and that second job is also really damaging to her because she doesn't even remember what happens during that time. She's home, she wakes up in her bed and she doesn't remember how she got there. So things are happening and she's taking things that are causing her to forget everything that even happened that night. Like she doesn't even know. And that's scary, like to not have any recollection of what you're doing, who you were with, what happened to your body. She like wakes up and she can tell things are inside her body that weren't in there before. And so it's things like that it's just like, this is going way too far. How is she allowing herself? I mean, it's the money. Obviously, she's getting paid a lot of money to do this, that she thinks it's worth it so that she can give back to her parents and give them the proper care that they deserve, that they haven't been able to get. And so she thinks that she just has to do this, is basically how she feels. But things start to get worse and worse, and her friends start to get unhealthy. It's like a rapid change. They start deteriorating. Their bodies, their hair starts coming out, like bad things, because of all these pills and supplements that their job forces them to take so that they can be the ideal, picture perfect idea of what beauty is, and that this is the only place you can get that. And it is so damaging to them that the opposite thing is starting to happen to them now. And it just goes downhill from there. Like there are just things that the way this author wrote it was just so well done in getting you to feel disgusting. If you don't want to read something like that, then maybe this isn't for you, because it really does go hard into this idea. Because I thought, well, yeah, if it's about beauty and the harms of trying to be the most beautiful person ever and trying to please other people based on what you look like, obviously that's not healthy mentally, and trying to do stuff to your body can also be physically unhealthy as well. But after reading this was way more than I bargained for. And not that I didn't like that I read it, like I'm fine with reading it. I didn't stop reading it. It wasn't too much for me that I just stopped reading it. But for some other people, it might be. So it might be triggering for you. If you've ever had issues with body image and stuff like that, maybe stay away from this. It takes things to the extreme. Maybe so much to the extreme that you might be able to be like, oh, that would never happen in real life. That's way too far. So I can put it out of my mind. Well, then okay, then that's great. But I feel like it's going to stick with me for a while because of how disturbing it got near the end. And it's just, the whole thing just was so impactful, I feel like. in the way she wrote it was just really well done. And so it just makes you want to appreciate what you have more and realize that you can always go too far. There's always a line, and you should not cross that line. And as soon as you do, it is really hard to go on the other side of that line again. So you've got to be careful, and you've got to take care of yourself. Yeah, I just can't even say anymore if I don't want to get into like spoilers. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you want a really good disturbing read for the Halloween season, for the spooky season, then yeah, I think you would really like it. It hits the marks for those things for sure, just very much so. But if you were looking for more of a story that, you know, has like a lot of more uplifting parts sprinkled in, then probably don't go for this one. If you have read this though, let me know what you think, because yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be thinking about it for quite a while, because it was pretty wild journey from start to finish. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.